You'll probably be pleased to know that a topic that's being heavily discussed at the moment on social media by important people is the phenomenon known as grooming gangs, or as the real title is, child rape sex gangs. These have been apparent in British society for a number of decades, I'm sad to say, and thousands of victims have been affected. That's not an exaggeration. Thousands of victims have been affected. Nothing's been done much about these grooming gangs. And when I say nothing's been done much, what I really mean to say is that it seems strange that predominantly 98% of these gangs operate within Labour-held councils, and they come from a section of society that's reliant on that vote. Now, no one's suggesting for 1 minute that members of that society in general are the abhorrent members of grooming gangs, certainly not. And most of them are dissatisfied with the way the councils have handled it, because it would seem suspiciously likely that this could be something to do with protecting their voter base. It's literally become more important to save the voter base, don't offend them in any way, shape or form, even when addressing wrongdoers within their society, and more important to not be thought of as racist and to accuse people who complain about it as being racist than it is to handle the actual problem. As usual, our government suffers from addressing the reaction rather than the problem. But today, though, Elon Musk has retweeted a post from ViceGrad24, a very good page to follow on Twitter and Facebook, who openly showed that a man who was convicted of being the head member of a 50-strong grooming gang, child rape sex gang, he was convicted, sentenced to 6 years, served 2.5 years of that sentence. We've got people in jail for over 12 months for sending nasty tweets. And he was officially deported. But guess what? That's never happened. And that's 9 years ago. So for 9 years, despite the fact he was told to be deported, nothing's happened. He's still wandering around the same area where his victims live, obviously 9 years older and suffering the effects. The previous couple of days have been quite shocking, really. Lawrence Fox put a tweet out with the extracts from the judge's comments in the sentencing of another grooming gang. These are historical facts on a PDF file because the case, the details have been released. They were harrowing, that's all I can say, where instruments were used to expand a girl's orifice so 4 people could use her at once. She's 12. 12. And this wasn't even, it was the back end of the girl. I'm trying to be as sanitised as I can about these comments. It was truly horrific, and the rest of the PDF file went on with similar abhorrent activities. It's brought it to the attention of Rupert Lowe, who's retweeted it, and he's found the detailed effects and goings on of what's been happening with these grooming gangs for such a long time so foul that he's put this tweet out. Now, this is a serving MP for the Reform Party, Rupert Lowe. I'm asking the Home Office some questions this morning. Will they commit to a full, free and fair national inquiry into the mass rape gang scandal? Publication of all detail so the British people can fully see for themselves the extent of the horror. Will they commit to deporting all foreign nationals involved, including family members who were aware of the crimes and therefore complicit? Will they commit to stripping citizenship from dual nationals implicated and deport them too? Will they undertake a full investigation into officials who had knowledge of these crimes yet failed to act? Even worse, proactively covering them up with question marks. How many girls do they estimate have been affected? What is the Home Office currently doing in order to prevent ongoing grooming, rape, exploitation or abuse of young British girls? How many girls are estimated to still be involved with these gangs? Will they publish a full nationality breakdown of those convicted for such offences, along with the location of their crimes? Will they publish a breakdown of the immigration status of those involved? On what grounds were they in the UK? Do they have previous convictions? How many foreign nationals found guilty have been released but not deported? How many re-offences have occurred? How many children have been born following a rape from these men, and how many have been given access to the child against the mother's wishes? How many have used the child as a route to remain in the UK? Will the Home Office commit to preventing this in the future? Will the Home Office Secretary officially apologise to all those affected for the state's failure to act and look at providing comprehensive compensation schemes? Will lifelong sentences now be considered for those British citizens involved in the crimes, but also those in positions of power who acted to cover up the scale of the abuse? Which politicians, local and national, have had knowledge of these events but failed to act? Again, going as far as to actively conceal what was truly happening. This is a debate that is needed. It's needed to happen, and it has been disgracefully ignored and suppressed for far too long. We will fight for answers in this Parliament.